Hi parents, students, and all others. Welcome back to the Basics of Language series. Today we are going to focus on one specific domain of language, phonology. Now, as a reminder from our introduction video, phonology is defined as the sound system of language. Phonology is defined as the sound system of language, and phonology directly connects to reading and spelling. We use our sound system to sound out words as we read. This is important because if you do not have a strong sound system, reading and spelling then are difficult. We need to be able to segment words into individual sounds so that we can use those learned sounds as building blocks to make new words. As babies, we naturally learn the sound system first. However, reading and spelling need to be explicitly taught. The sound system is what gives letters their meaning. You need to have a strong sound system from speaking and listening to then map meaning onto written letters. Some of the skills students work on within phonology include rhyming and sounding out words. Sounding out words lets us practice using our sound system to draw out meaning from a word. Rhyming is changing the first consonant sound or consonant cluster and maintaining the vowel and following consonants, as you can see below. Ultimately, rhyming can help with spelling and reading. It is important to have the skill of differentiating sounds so that then you can differentiate meaning. If you change just one sound in a word, it can completely change the meaning. For example, fan to can. Some people's sound systems are weak, and they cannot discriminate certain sounds from each other. People who have struggles in this domain may hear a different word than what's actually being spoken. For example, hearing the word pin when someone's actually saying pen. Now, if you're wanting to get in some extra practice with phonology skills at home, here are some ideas you can try. If you are reading with your child and they come across a word that they don't know or one that is difficult, have them sound it out. If it's a multisyllabic word, for example, dentist, you can cover the syllables with your finger and go part by part, sounding out each piece as you go. So, with the word dentist, you would begin with the first syllable, den, and sound it out letter by letter. D, e, n. Then the second syllable, tist, t, I, s, t. Finally, you move the two syllables together, den and tist, to form the word dentist. Our next suggestion is to modify the game I Spy. When you play, you can change your questions or guesses to incorporate more sounds practice. It's important while you're playing this game to make sure you're only using one sound, not attaching a vowel. So notice the difference between p and p. One is including a vowel and one is just the sound. Lastly, the chain game is a great way to practice sounds at home. There are two levels to the chain game. The first begins with you picking a category. It can be anything from countries to colors, but for this example, I chose animals. For level 1, the rules are simple. The first sound of your word becomes the first sound of their word. For example, if I say fish as my animal, a good response would be fox, as it also starts with the f sound. The second level of this game is similar, but instead of them copying the first sound of your word, they make the last sound of your word the first sound of their word. So using the same example, if I say fish, shark would then be a good response because shark starts with sh and fish ends with sh. To wrap things up, we're going to bring it back to form, content, and use. As a reminder, this organization is to help us remember the 5 domains by their functions. We have covered phonology, a part of the form section. A way to remember that phonology belongs here is because the individual sounds come together to form words. The next video in this series will be on the second area of form, morphology.